This video is brought to you by Dunk Wilson Adventures on Substack. Yep, that's my Substack. I checked, and I'm allowed to have my own website sponsor my own video, just so long as I declare it, which I just did. Good morning, Bulla, and welcome to Fiji. I'm here loitering under the beautiful coconut-clad palm trees of Denarau Island's golf course, the resort paradise of Denarau Island, I should add. It's very, very fake here, but I quite like it. Today I'm going on a miniature adventure. I'm going to walk from Denarau to the third largest Fijian town of Nadi. I'm told it's going to be a few eye-opening things along the way, a few unfinished properties, that kind of thing along the way, and then when I get to Nadi it's going to be a real eye-opener. Barterer's paradise perhaps, definitely going to find some good food and might even get a coconut juice as well. They're literally growing on the trees here. They're also falling off the trees. There we go, there's a specimen right next to the golf course here. One, there's another one over there. Two specimens just lying on the ground. Now what will happen is either a local will come along and scoop that up and have it for themselves, don't blame them, or it'll stay there and perhaps sprout a palm tree from it. I saw one yesterday that had done exactly that down by the waterfront. They just lie there long enough, they sprout a tree from them. So they are in fact the seeds of the coconut tree. I should add here that getting to Fiji was an adventure in itself. Rather than boring old flying, I went by sea with TV star and my old friend Paul Henry on his motor yacht Olive. And it was rough. 9 days, 8 nights driving across the Pacific Ocean from Auckland, New Zealand to Denarau. We were sick, we smashed through storms and faced a few mysteries along the way. You can read my stories about this journey for free now on my Substack. I'll put a link in the description. These tales are not for the easily disturbed. I spent a lot of time on a boat to get to Fiji, so a lot of time about seeing greenery, grass, trees, plants, etc. 9 days we were on the boat. One of the things that struck me since coming back onto land is just how beautiful the colours of the plant life here is. I mean, look at that. Here's one that looks related, but it's red. So one thing I really love about the greeting Bulla here, which technically literally means life, but is translated to the equivalent of Bulla, translated to the equivalent of hello or hi in English, is that when I was in my early 20s, my friends and I used to say Bulla to each other as a kind of greeting.
So who have we got in the room tonight? Oh, here we have Bulla Parks. Bulla! Ooh.
Absolutely ridiculous that now I'm on an island and everyone's saying Bulla to one another. One thing I've noticed all the way along Denarau Island is these neighbourhood watch signs, which where I'm from represents a sort of a community who get together and keep an eye on each other's properties for the common good. But here it just means there's an automatic gate that prevents you from getting in. So that there, that's the main gate to Denarau Island. I just had a chat with the guy as I walked across. Am I okay to walk across? He's like, it's up to you. I said, I'm walking to Nadi. Said something to his colleague. They both agreed that it was still up to me. It's all good. Told him I'd see him a bit later. And then obviously, Bulla. Crossing now to, it's not really an island, it's just the river that separates them, but I suppose the mainland of Fiji. Check it out, I'm literally over the bridge onto the mainland. I was promised unfinished construction, and there we have it. It's like the place that wishes it was in Denarau Island, but it's not. Born the wrong side of the gate, doesn't get finished. Look at it. Also, just over the bridge, Skydive Fiji. Completely caught my attention because in their backyard they've got this, a submarine. What's the opposite to a skydive? Hello. See, on one hand you've got just nice palm trees, properties, cool little island life. But all the way down here, there's these billboards advertising things right on your front gate. For 40 minutes I trudged down this dusty road. I saw a pretty cool looking pub, lots of basic shack style houses, a guy selling crabs, a murky pond full of frogs, a small supermarket selling local food, some goats and cows tied to posts, and no footpath, which I'm not surprised, but also it's made me think I probably am not going to walk back. I'm probably just going to go into town and I'll get the bus back later. It's only $1 to Denarau. There's a 50km/h sign coming up about 200 metres from me. And beyond that I can see some traffic lights. Oh my gosh, the city might be close. Down there, just across the road. Now we're talking. Nice wide footpath into town. Last 4 kilometres to Nadi. Should be easy. This long straight road was hot, hot, hot. At one point I saw a baked gecko on the footpath. Despite the green and rural feel, it was a residential street, like neighbours, but with everyone growing bananas in their gardens. Was that Dave Lister from Red Dwarf? I'll never know. I'm liking this place here. It's both a car wash and a hair salon. Just approaching some sort of main crossroads, which has a selection of businesses for rent, burnt out / derelict diner or something, and then over in the far corner, possibly the newest Burger King I've ever seen in my life. It is glistening, like they polished it this morning. So I have the sense that we are approaching Nadi now. Traffic lights are always a sign you're in a town centre, eh? At the crossroads, I turned left and wandered up a road that looked a bit like a town. I think this is town now, but I'm not sure. There's one from the Seen Better Days archive. There's some truly awful hiking now. So I just tucked down a curry for lunch in an Indian restaurant just up the road there called Indiana, which is an interesting name for an Indian restaurant. The food was delicious. I said to the waitress while I was there though, I said, which way are the shops? Which way to Nadi, please? And she said, you need to head back down the road that way. And I went, well, I just came from there wasn't much down there. Just, over the bridge, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it turns out that where the Burger King was, I should have turned right to get to the centre of Nadi. I went completely the wrong direction for about 2 kilometres. It's a good job I did though, because it meant I found that Indian restaurant. That was a bit of a treat, that. A certain famous mapping app had sent me the wrong way by implying the centre of Nadi was up there, close to the airport. The centre of Nadi is actually much further to the south and much nearer Denarau, like this map shows. The bank ATMs had wanted to rob me to make a small withdrawal, so I was travelling cashless and gutted when I found these guys selling coconuts by the roadside. No matter though, they really wanted me to try one on the house. Quick bulla to my friend Wate, selling coconuts on the side of the road. I have no money, I have no cash, I'm terrible, but Wate and Ben sorted me out. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. It's so refreshing. Thank you so much. What are you doing?
This take out the coconut flesh. This is a spoon made of coconut.
And now I eat that.
Yeah.
I left my new friends so that they could actually make some money, and I passed through a small settlement lined with houses, some advertising carver for sale. Alright, we're there, found Nadi. I didn't have to walk very far before a friendly shopkeeper invited me into his shop.
What is your name?
I am Dunk.
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 Duncan.
Oh, Duncan, this is Stan the man.
Stan the man.
So, Duncan, this is V-shape will be
Voila.
pointing to you.
Yes.
That means you'll be the chief of the ceremony.
Okay.
Kava is roots, which is a national drink of Fiji.
Just going to hit pause there. You might be wondering, what is kava? Champagne, isn't it? Not exactly. Kava is the ground up roots from a special plant found across the Pacific. When mixed with water and drunk, its active ingredient, known as kava lactones, are said to improve your mood, make you feel contented and relaxed.
So 6 days on the boat, man.
9.
9 days to take you to come to Fiji from New Zealand.
Yeah, 9. It's normally 6 or 7.
Oh, because of the weather.
We had some storms, so we had to go in the wrong direction some nights just to carry the storm,
Yeah.
and then turn back to Fiji, and then
my
turn away
God.
from Fiji, and
Wow.
turn back to Fiji.
So, Chief Duncan, this is a small kava ceremony on behalf of the people from the mountain, on behalf of the 37 villages. First of all, Vinaka.
Pin.
Vinaka is thank you for coming to Fiji, and Vinaka for coming to the local shop. I hope you have enjoyed our country and will still enjoy the rest of the hours or days left in Fiji. And welcome to Fiji. Have a safe trip back home, and the Almighty God will bless us, bless you, and we say in Fijian, Sota Tale. Sota Tale.
Sota tale.
We'll meet again one day.
I didn't feel any effects from the kava. All I felt was tired, which I put down to having walked 20 kilometres in the searing tropical heat. I quickly dived into a few gift shops, then hit the gas station for a bottle of water, and received this as change. A $7 note, a celebration of the country's many successes in Olympic rugby sevens. Well, that was Nadi. It was chaotic, it was dirty, it was a lot of fun. The people were really nice, shops were interesting, but I feel like the whole experience was incredibly tiring. Anyway, making my way back to Denarau now. Bula! Making my way back to Denarau now. Gonna do the final little walk down that horrible road. Should get there in about half an hour's time. Exhausted but enjoying the sunset, I speedily marched down that awful road back to Denarau, which, to be fair, was much quieter and far less awful in the evening. The flames were lit, the sanitised port town of Denarau was pumping, and I'd completed my unique whirlwind tour of the real Fiji.